Hello, and welcome to the third ever podcast of the Addams Family. Yeah, the Addams Family Podcast. I'm your host, Ryleigh Holmes. I'm playing Lucas Beinecke in this year's musical. Today, I have with me Hailey Lowery, Reilly Rawlings, and Evan Chichester. Hey guys, how you doing?
I'm doing good. We're all good.
We're great.
All right, so just to start, I know I said your names, but we're going to introduce ourselves. Say your name, your grade, your part. So we'll start here. We'll go this way.
Okay. Hi, I'm Hailey. I'm in 11th grade, and I'm playing Grandma Addams.
Hi, I'm Reilly Rawlings. I'm in 11th grade, and I am playing Uncle Fester.
Hi, I'm Evan Chichester. I'm in 12th grade, and I'm playing Lurch.
All right, so we'll go back a little bit to auditions. How were auditions for you guys, other than terrifyingly nerve-wracking? In a
I
good
think
way.
I had fun. It was like an overall really good experience for me, except for callbacks. That was scary. But other than that.
For me, I would say it was nerve-wracking, but I had a lot of fun, and for it being my first year, I think I was really impressed with how well I did.
I just went out with the best song I thought I can go with, and go for whatever part I could achieve, and that's what I went with. But it was pretty good.
Yeah. So I asked the other people, so I'm going to ask you guys, did you get the part you auditioned for? I know this is kind of a controversial question. We're not going to throw shade on anything, but did you get the part you auditioned for?
Yes.
Okay, so I auditioned for literally all of the male parts except for Lurch. So, in a way, yes, I did get the part that I auditioned for.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
Did not. I went for Gomez or Fester, and little to my surprise, I got Lurch. I mean,
Okay, yeah, it's
So-
still a role.
yes, it is still a role, but not what I wanted, but that's okay.
I feel like he's a very fitting character for you.
Why, 'cause I'm tall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tall and quiet, tall and quiet.
Not that quiet.
All right,
Maybe.
so with your characters, what's the hardest thing about your characters?
Oh, I could start on this one. Not talking or singing. That is annoying as crap.
I would say the hardest thing for me is kind of matching Fester's energy, because he's like a really like high energy character. He's super different and weird in all these different ways, and I think just kind of living up to that is difficult at times.
I think it's really hard to like be old and have this like crazy accent because I'm pretty basic. So it's like hard to just be that different.
You are far from basic.
But I mean, like, it's hard for me to, like, change up my voice and walk around like I have a freaking rod in my back. Like, it's just hard. So, but it's fun, and I enjoy it.
So what's the easiest thing to do with your characters? I know, like, for me, it's, I don't know, I'm kind of more on the academic side of myself. So it's easier to just kind of be a little nerdy, but also be normal, so I don't have to worry about an image or anything. And Lucas is kind of just like there.
Like a boy. Like a teenage boy. Yeah. But not teenaged. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm 19, so I'm still a teen, but yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
So what's the easiest thing about your character?
Probably Grandma's energy and her sass. I don't really have to try hard with that. I kind of just talk and it all comes out. So that's pretty good.
I know that I said like matching his energy is something that's difficult at times, but other times I feel like that one, the level of like his personality and his energy and the way he interacts with others, I feel like I can connect to that a lot because I kind of also am like high energy and like I have my own weird different like quirks and stuff, so I feel like that would definitely probably be the easiest part.
Yeah. The easiest part for me is that I was already matching the description of the 6'4" giant. So it's just nailed down to the spot. I don't put any high boots or anything, so.
Honestly, I think it'd be kind of cool to see you put on stage platform shoes.
Absolutely not.
Oh, you would be so
You
tall.
you would be so tall.
I think that's a good idea because you and Ethan, which you guys will see in the next episode, you're right around the same height. He's a smidge shorter than you, but it would be a good displacement between Lurch
I'm
and...
not going to make a whole foot displacement.
Oh, no, it's like, stage platform shoes are like 4 inches
no.
difference.
I think it would be also really cool for the dinner scene and how we're all sitting down. He would just like tower over all
Yes.
of us while like passing. Yeah, I think it would
Yeah.
be so cool.
Yeah. So, we've talked about the hardest thing. We've talked about the easiest thing. What is the favorite thing about your characters?
I think my favorite thing is the relationship I get to have with Pugsley. Because I wasn't really, like, close with Trey. I really didn't even know who he was before the musical. But now, like, Trey's probably a really good friend of mine. And, like, just the way our characters are, like, so close and stuff, it's, like, that's probably my favorite thing.
I think for me, definitely my favorite part is I would say the funnest part is Fester's romance. I feel like that is a very fun thing to portray because like it's definitely out of my comfort zone, but at the same time I have so much fun. Like every time I get to talk about my romance in the show.
My funnest thing. That is hard because I don't do much.
So,
I guess it's just going to have to be not talking, but I have those grunts and groans that can make things a little bit more cheerful in moments. So.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So, with the change in directors, there's a whole change in how everything is going down. For especially the veterans, I know you're kind of new to this, how is that changing your, not necessarily your experience, but, like, how, is it getting easier, is it getting harder, like, what's...
I think for me, it's getting easier because of Mr. Holmes' like attention to detail. He's very good at like cranking down on like the sudden movements that we make when we're on stage and just like little things that like we change with our voices, and it like goes a long way with how we portray our character. So it's actually like it makes me feel like I'm more comfortable to go out on stage and be Grandma Addams because I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I can't really speak from experience here because this is my first year, but I have heard that like there's been a big difference in the directing styles between Mrs. Harris and Mr. Holmes. I think personally that his directing style is very helpful because he gets us to the point that we need to get to with our characters, and he's really helped me personally be able to connect to my character more, so it makes it easier for me to go out on stage and do all my scenes and stuff like that. So I personally think that it's been going very well.
I can follow up on Ryleigh with that. The difference between Miss Harris and Mr. Holmes. Miss Harris has experience in concerts and stage performances. Mr. Holmes is more of an actor. He knows plays and Shakespeare. Yeah. So I guess the big difference is Miss Harris, she always knocked down on how you are on stage and with the singing and how you perform. But Mr. Holmes, he focuses more on like the style of the characters, how they act, how they interact.
I agree with that.
How they just how their overall world.
Yeah, and I think that's really important because the way Mrs. Harris had it, I loved both seasons. It's a great yin and yang, but she had 2-3 weeks where we focused on straight music and we got music down pat, and then we were able to stage. I like it this year that we're kind of doing both at the same time.
I agree.
And like, you guys, it's the end of February and we've already run through the show. Like, we're through with blocking.
Yeah.
But we are still working on music with it.
We are still working on music.
Which is different because with Miss Harris, we by now have that down packed.
Right.
But I think now that we have, like, we're working on it at the same time, it's not like we're, like, so stressed because, like, Mr. Holmes is telling us it is okay that you don't have all your music down pat. It is not it is okay that you don't have all your lines memorized. Like, we're, like, taking it slow because he wants it to go good and, like, be performed great.
I also think that Mr. Holmes has set really good goals for us by trying to have our lines memorized by the end of February. I think that's a good goal. And going off of what Evan said about Mrs. Harris being more heavy into the music and then Mr. Holmes being more heavy into the acting portion of things, I think those two things just kind of go hand in hand with each other in making a successful musical. So I think both styles of teaching were great. Both styles of teaching would be amazing together.
Yes.
Oh yeah, last year was pretty fun with both of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've talked about your characters, but what I love to think about is how do you see yourself in the characters? I know we're not supposed to be Hailey playing Grandma or Evan playing Lurch. We're supposed to be that character, but like last year in Greece, I found myself in a little bit of Sunny everywhere. I see a little bit of myself in Lucas with more and more of the lines. So how do you see yourself fitting into the characters?
I see myself fitting into Grandma so greatly because she's loud, she's quirky, she gets to the point, and she doesn't care how that makes people feel. And I think that just reminds me of myself a lot because, I mean, I'm loud and quirky, and I get to the point.
Yeah.
I think I personally connect to Fester because like I said before, like I just have that kind of like crazy, fun energy. I'm most of the time a positive, happy person. And one thing about Fester is that he really loves his romance.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing for him. Fester loves his romance, and I feel like I can connect.
And he loves drama.
Yes.
He's always stirring the pot, and I can connect to that in a way.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, for me, it was funny. Whenever I auditioned, people were like, What'd you get? I'm like, guess. Who's the tallest one in the show?
Yeah.
Like, Lurch. Exactly. So I'm already built for him. I'm already connected to Lurch. I mean, I just kind of fit into that role. As much as he doesn't talk or sing, which is my passion, it still works out for me pretty well. So.
And I love that Lurch, kind of like Vin Diesel with Groot, Vin Diesel actually was almost fired by Marvel because he couldn't get his lines. Even though they are I am Groot, it is the way he was saying it. So I love that about Lurch, that you get to say only grunts and groans, but it's a whole nother feeling with said grunts and groans.
That's one thing I was told is that without talking, you have to do a lot more body movement and facial expression. You have to put your character into a position that they can't communicate with others by still communicating, which is by facial expression, how high your grunt is or how you, I don't know, how you use your voice in those grunts and groans.
Right.
I personally think you actually do a very good job at playing Lurch. Like, you're very expressive with, like, he can't communicate with words, but you're very expressive with your grunts and groans and your facial expressions.
Yes, especially your actions,
And the part of Lurch where, like, because he doesn't talk, he hears it all.
Yes.
And you portray him hearing and knowing it all.
Sometimes this isn't the best thing, but
I think that part of the storyline is so cool.
Yeah. So, your favorite things, how you fit into them. How have you grown? How have you grown through this experience? Not only through drama club, but how have you grown as a person through this experience of the Addams family? Yeah, sorry, I ask hard questions.
I would say in terms of growth in drama club, I'm definitely not as afraid as I used to be of going out on stage and giving my performance my all. Sometimes there's moments where I'm like a little nervous, but then like I can definitely tell you that I've changed a lot since rehearsals started back in December.
Yeah.
But as a person, I feel like drama club has all around just made me a happier person. It gives me a way to occupy my time by doing something that I didn't think I was going to love, but I ended up falling in love with as the process has moved on. Because I know before auditions, everyone was asking, they're like, are you going to audition for the musical? And I was like, no, I don't think the Addams Family is going to be my thing. But here we are, and I'm having the time of my life every day with some of my greatest friends.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think for me, like with drama club, I've grown with like, I want to say like paying more attention to like details. Because like last year with my character, she was like one-sided. She was mean, and that was it. Mean
She was
and
all
loud.
business.
Yeah,
She was all business,
on
no
business,
casual.
all business. And I mean, now she's very bipolar, and there's like a lot of sides to her.
Yeah.
So I've grown to like pay attention more. But like as a person, I think I've grown to like slow down. I'm very, I don't want to say fast, but I mean like my head's moving faster than I can.
Scatterbrained,
Yes.
so to say.
And like I've definitely been able to just like slow down and enjoy each moment. So
I'd say I'm probably going half an inch. I'd say I'm 6'1.5" now. So
That was a good one.
I'd say I've grown more to be just an actor who can express himself. Because some people won't be able to hear you on stage, so just your body movement and language can portray who you are as a person and who you want to be. So I've taken that also into like real world and how you interact around others by not talking. If someone's talking, then acknowledge them and pay attention to fine details, and that's what Lurch is all about. He's always there for people, and he's always paying attention to every little thing. So that's probably one big thing I've been trying to do too.
Yeah, like Mrs. Hoy says, you have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk. So, what have you been able to put into your characters? There's a whole lot of stuff, but like during character development, when we were reading our character bios, what's like one thing that spoke out to you that kind of told you, I see why Mr. Holmes gave me this part. I can see why he offered me this part.
when we read through like the character bios and stuff, it said about how Grandma's very witty and she's funny. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think I'm pretty funny. And me and Mr. Holmes actually talk about this a lot because like sometimes I don't think I'm funny and I'm just whatever this is. But he always tells me that I'm funny and witty, and I think that's a pretty big reason to why I got Grandma. And sassy. I'll put that in there.
I mean, for a while, I was really questioning why I got put as the character that I was. Not in, like, a bad way. I just wanted to know. And, like, before I talked to Mr. Holmes, I never really saw myself in Fester. Like, I don't know. It's strange. Because I would ask him, I'd be like, why did you choose to give me this part? And he's like, just because, like, your mannerisms, the way you talk,
Yeah.
the way you act, like, it's all, like, so clear that you were meant to be that role.
Yeah.
I think I can agree with him now.
No, I was just against Lurch. It's the biggest, tallest factor out there. But other than that, though, I think what Mr. Holmes has told me is that, like, I can be such an attentive person to find details, and I can be expressive in other different ways other than
Yes.
talking and singing. And so that's what he said. My biggest reason I got put as Lurch is my little expressions I have here and there, how I can act those out as Lurch.
I think that's very useful, especially if you are trying to pursue music. It's very useful to be handed a character like Lurch and say, hey, you got to do this. You can't talk. And especially in like an improv class, you're saying yes and you got to make up this whole big story. But yeah, I think that's a very cool ace that you have in your deck. But we'll ask this question: why should people come and see the Addams Family?
Because we've worked really hard, and it's the same thing as going to a sporting event. I mean, athletes work hard every day to put on a good performance. So why shouldn't we also get the recognition for our outstanding performance that is going to happen April 4th and 5th?
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock.
Yep.
I think that people should come see the Addams Family because of the hard work, like Hailey said, and because I feel like it's a lot different than any musical Tyrone has done in the past. Like, I personally haven't been in drama club until this year, but I do know some of the musicals that have happened in the past, and I think that this one is very different. It's very cool. It's funny, and I think we have a pretty big cast this year. So
Yes.
I think it's going to be one to remember for sure.
Yeah, we've more than doubled our cast from last year. We've almost tripled our cast.
That's insane.
Yeah, we've almost tripled our cast from last year.
I think that you, the viewer, should come see the Addams Family because this is a family that is performing for a family. This is a family show. Everyone from the ages, 3 or however old you can understand a musical to 80 or something, you'll love it. I mean, there's jokes from all ages.
There's jokes for all ages.
There truly is something for everybody in the Addams Family.
Yeah.
I guess I agree completely.
Yeah. So, what has been, you said about the hard work. What has been the hardest thing for you guys to do? Not necessarily just about your character, because we already covered that, but like the hardest thing through practices.
I already know.
Oh, no.
I have a really big problem with not laughing and talking backstage.
We can still hear you.
Yeah, I know. It's really, I can't even whisper backstage without Mr. Holmes yelling at me because
his signature whistle that
yes,
he always does.
Yes.
And that is so hard because I don't know how to not talk.
Yeah, it's hard to do that, especially coming from a backstage of Charlie Brown, where, my goodness, we were talking so much. We would talk so
Same
much,
thing with
and nobody
Grease.
could hear us.
Yeah.
Nobody could hear
The
us.
renovated auditorium and all
See,
of the
even-
acoustics in there.
See, even though like last year, I remember talking, and I don't think I was
yeah.
that loud.
Yeah, and I think because Dad's in the pit and
Yeah.
he knows us, he knows we're talking.
Yeah.
And like he says, he hears everything.
He
hears
he
everything.
he hears
does.
everything. He does.
Sometimes things that you probably should not want to hear.
Just like Lurch.
Yeah, that's just me. We're pretty much brothers. So.
And so in a way, I almost want to say that one of the hardest things we've done so far is trying to memorize our scripts by the end of February.
Oh yes.
But that has actually come quite easy to me
Mm-hmm.
because, like, especially with running Act 1 so much, like, just the repetition really, really helps.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that it's memorizing your scripts. I personally want to say the hardest thing that I've had to do at practice is really kind of step out of my comfort zone in front of all these people that I call my friends, because like they've truly only ever seen like this one side of me where they just know me as Ryleigh, but now I think it's been a little difficult to step out of my shell and let them get to know me as Uncle Fester in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely different from anything I've ever done before.
I'd say for me, the hardest thing is not being able to do what I want to do. During choreography practices, I'm out in the auditorium, sitting in a chair for 2 hours sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, I want to do that. That's my passion. I'm the guy who would go home, break out in song, dance up my room,
Yeah.
play music full blast in the car. But as like last year, I got to embrace and enjoy every little song or moment we
Mhm.
had. This year, I had to sit back and just watch everyone else do it while I still play my character and not talk or sing
Yeah.
and that's really painful to me for
Yeah.
someone who loves all those things.
I can agree to that. That's how it was for me last year because
Yeah.
I was like in charge, so I wasn't allowed to have fun.
Yeah.
So it was really hard.
You were kind of the moody old lady in the corner, just.
And now I'm
sitting
the
there.
crazy old lady in the corner.
No, I'm the moody old man in the corner for
We don't.
undecided thing.
We don't really know what you are.
I'm probably not
Or
even in
how,
the
how
family.
old is Lurch?
Who knows?
I don't know.
I
Like
don't know.
in the new movies, he's from an insane asylum that they find on the side of the road.
Oh yeah, I saw that
Mhm.
in the new ones.
But in the, I'm not as well versed in the 60s TV show.
I used to watch
but
that as a
I
kid.
know in the 91 and 93 movies, he's just Lurch.
He's just there. Yeah.
He's just there. There's no Lurch backstory.
Lurch.
I was
It's a
just there in the
mystery.
house when they moved in. I mean, I was just trapped in a closet. They just found me there. Yeah, covered in dust.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I don't know, the kind of the hardest thing has been for me the lines. But also I know I'm going to walk in the first day we run it and I'm going to be able to spout out my lines because that's how I was last year.
Yeah.
I was scared about my lines, but it's
Yeah.
That's a problem for some people.
I think I think I would like to say I'm pretty well prepared. I have all of my lines from Act 1 pretty engraved.
Hey, me
in
too.
the noggin. I've been working on Act 2.
yeah.
It's getting easier. I can say that for sure. It's getting
Yeah.
easier.
I think Act 2 is the harder of the two acts, especially for me because in Act 2 the Beinickies are already introduced, so
You're a lot more.
we're there. We're
Yeah.
a lot more incorporated, especially Lucas, because that's I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But that's where it's more. Lucas is more present
Yeah.
there, so we'll say that. Don't want to
See, I
get
think it's the
fired by
opposite
Mr.
for
Holmes.
me. I'm like more Act 1 is like more an act that I'm like present in, and Act 2 I'm just hiding out somewhere until like the last few scenes. So Act 1 with all of my lines, I was actually just reading them today because I'm so stressed out, but I think I'll do good. I'll just go out there and say them and I'll be surprised. I'll surprise myself.
Another thing that I think is, it's not difficult yet, but it might get to be a little more difficult, is actually putting music to choreography.
Yes.
Because I've,
Yes.
like being in pops and stuff, like, yes, we sing and dance and stuff, but like, it's always been a little bit difficult to be able to kind of do those things like good together. So I feel like that might be a problem. or a challenge
Especially
that we have to overcome.
with different choreographers this year. Because last year,
Yes.
when we did it with Kara, she was very, make sure you're singing while you're dancing. And we weren't allowed to leave until, like, everything was almost perfect. And, like, with Abby, she's, like, focusing on the dances.
Yes.
Which makes the choreography 10 times better because we're paying attention to the details.
Oh my gosh.
And it's-
phenomenal. I'm
Yes.
Yes.
It looks.
The choreography this year, Abby, she's a genius. She's
Yes.
amazing. Our choreography is great.
It's
Yes.
better than just the same old 3-step turn, pivot, 3-step turn.
It's
Yeah.
very different, and it's very fun to do. I enjoy doing the choreography this year a lot. It's different and it's fun and it's cool, and I think it's very engaging.
Yes.
Shout out to Abby.
Shout out to Abby.
Yeah. So I like the choreography. It is very, I don't know, it's very Addams Family, and I
Yes.
love it.
It
It's
is.
Creepy and kooky.
it is yes. I love that it's. Yeah, I like how you said it. It's
Yeah.
not just step touching.
Yeah.
And last year for Grease, it wasn't, but it kind of was.
Yes, it
And
was very
worked.
repetitive.
Yeah, it was repetitive, but it worked.
I feel like it worked for what Grease was.
Yeah, a
I feel
high
like the
school-
choreography-
Yeah.
I feel like it was very fitting because I came to see you guys perform last year, so I feel like the choreography was fitting.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Abby does have a degree in dance,
Yeah.
so she knows what she's talking
And
about.
I feel like the choreography this year is also very fitting for the Addams.
It is fitting for
Especially
the Addams
because,
Family.
like, I feel like the Addams Family is very, like, powerful.
Yeah.
And the choreography is just, like, it's like a wow factor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, it's not
I feel like
boring. Like,
I
I'm not getting tired. I'm loving it.
Like, I personally am, like, blown away by the amount of work that Abby has put in and, like, thought about, like, the show and our characters and how the choreography is going to, like, tie everything together, and I think it's
Yes.
really cool.
Mhm.
I'm getting like the audience experience while you guys are dancing. So I just want to get up and like do a jig or something like.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it and like, oh my gosh, it's so well done. I just want to
Yeah.
get on my seat and move around and join them. And it's like
Yeah.
those little details that go into make the whole scene of whoever's dancing just phenomenal. And like one whole piece is just complete. And,
Yeah.
like,
It's very cohesive because going from one dance to another, you can see that it's the same stuff, but it's also different for the song. Like
Yes.
last year, we would go from High School Hop to the second song. I forget what the other song was, but we would go from those two songs, and it's the same thing. It was a 50s high school dance kind of thing. So, which is, we were at prom.
High school
So,
shit and all that.
yeah.
It's like, I think all the choreography, like, from the two numbers that we have right now, I like how, like you said, it's very, very different. And it's adapted to the scene.
Yes.
Is I think is a good way to put it. The choreography is very well adapted to the scene. And I also want to say that, like, all of the middle schoolers that have, like, never done anything like this before, I think they are doing such an amazing job.
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Choreography and stuff. Shout out to all the middle schoolers in drama club, because
Yeah,
you guys
they-
are doing amazing.
They're putting in the work.
Yes, sir.
And I will admit, we all get chatty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all get chatty. We all get chatty. But yeah, they're embracing the drama club.
And that's that's not an easy thing to do either. Like, they're all given, like, these ancestor characters, and they really have to embrace them.
And they have to make them their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because unlike Lucas and the named characters, even the named ancestors, with the 6 named ancestors, yeah, they have an actual, like, a conquistador has to look like a conquistador, but they need to make their own ancestor.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'd be hilarious to have multiple caveman ancestors.
That would be awesome.
Dakota's our caveman ancestor, but it would be hilarious to have, like, multiple of them.
One whole tribe of just caveman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole tribe of caveman
Yeah.
ancestors.
And I think, like, they've all taken that challenge, and they've all done super, super well with it.
They have.
Yes.
And
I think everybody in the show this year is doing great things, and I think it's going to turn out to be really,
I
really
can
good.
see a future musical production of those middle schoolers.
oh yes, they are.
Oh, yes.
They're
We are-
starting off
They are
right
the
now.
future, and they're shining bright right now.
They're
Yeah.
starting
Yeah.
off as little named character ancestors with their own little personalities, and just like start off middle school, 8th grade, you get, that's like the moment in your life where you build passions for things. You
Yeah.
grow experiences, and I see them like loving these musicals growing up and then wanting to incorporate it into their lives.
Yeah, man.
So,
I always call it the bug. The bug was planted in me when I went to see Beauty and the Beast. When
Me
it was
too.
done
that was mine.
Yep.
2017,
Yes.
2018, in that area. Oh my goodness, I loved every second of it. But that kind of gave me the bug,
Yeah.
as I like to call it. Same with my first kindergarten assembly. That gave me the Pops bug.
Yep.
I wanted to be in Pops.
Yeah.
But not only with that, but like I was backstage. My first year, I was backstage, and I was in 6th grade. But to see me jump from a backstage hand to
A lead role.
Yeah, now look at you. You're
Yeah.
in the spotlight.
Even in 8th grade, a lead
yeah,
role.
I was a supporting role last year in 8th grade, and it's just
Yeah.
boom, it's insane. But yeah,
It was crazy. For
It's-
me, it wasn't. For me, it was Beauty and the Beast, but it was also how to succeed in business without
I
trying.
I will admit, full disclosure, I did not go to How to Succeed because my little 3rd grade brain thought it was going to be a really boring musical about business and logistics. And I honestly kind of regret it because I've heard it's a pretty funny musical.
I loved it so much that this year I was gonna sing one of the songs from it, but then I changed my mind.
any middle schoolers or like children watching, pursue your passions. If it's
Yeah.
musical, if it's sports, anything, do it now. You'll love it. You'll grow to it more and more.
Yeah.
And you'll regret it if you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So enjoy moments. And
And do what you love to do. I'll throw that out there. I played baseball for 7 years, and then I didn't because I didn't want to come play. I didn't want to play anymore. And I saw that in in 7th grade I was able to join vocal attraction, and that instantly filled what baseball had, and it overfilled it. I was able to be the stage kid, and yes, I may have lost friends, but it gave me more friends.
In the end, you're happier than you would have been if you would have continued playing baseball.
Yeah. I can count 20 people that I have grown closer to through the stage and the drama club, and I couldn't count half of those that I still regularly talk to that I met through baseball.
Because you can still be playing baseball and come to these musicals thinking, man, I should have done that while I had the chance. And
Yeah.
You never did, but now you have, and
Yep.
you're experiencing it for your own self. And
Yeah.
that's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I am pursuing my passion because I just love any kind of performing.
Yeah.
Like, I am a very, very big performing arts kid. Like, I've done band, I'm in choir, I'm in pops, like, I do marching band and color guard, and, like, all of those things are, like, super, like, expressive and just artsy, and I think that's the kind of person that I am. So.
Yeah, whatever it is, if it's sports, the arts, theatrics, whatever it is, you got to pursue it, because if not, man, you could be stuck behind a desk for the rest of your life, and
Looking for your father.
yeah.
The best advice I was given was by my boyfriend's mother, and she said, you're in high school once, and you're going to look back one day and regret that you didn't do the things that you could have then because you don't get these opportunities now.
All right.
That's what my mother has told me. She grew up, she loved music, she was in marching band, and she's like, if I can go back any moment I could, I would so do it. I enjoyed it the most back then. Now she's a teacher. She still loves it.
Yeah.
She still loves teaching kids, but I know she would go back any instant she could to go back to like marching band or anything.
Yeah, we're so
Yeah.
quick to get out of high school, but then one day we're going to miss it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think that very well ties everything together. I think we're going to end it there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will see you next time. Come to the show April 4th and 5th at 7 p.m.
It's our
in
$10.
the high school auditorium. Tickets are $10 general admission. You can get them in the high school main office at any time during the school day.
Or talk to anybody in drama club.
Yes,
Ask
talk-
to get order forms.
Talk to drama club kids. They have order forms. You can get them through there, and we'll have them at the door.
Yeah.
Or with your drama club friend. All right? All right. Do the honors. We'll see you next time.